Thank you, Dr. Cooper, for your introduction. Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of the College of Medicine and Life Sciences, I would like to welcome families, friends, and mentors that are present here today. I'm very grateful for the opportunity to be one of the 2 students selected to present the class of 2018. Of course, all of my fellow students deserve to be standing here in my place, and I cannot really miss any one of them, and they really should be deserved, all of my PhD fellows, including Hilda and Prabhat. I know I say that I'm not discarding all the other because I noticed their hard work. So we all really did a great work in our 4 years. Today, we are here at the commencement to celebrate our achievements. As I stand in front of you guys, I have many thoughts in my head, but words cannot really express those feelings of happiness. Instead, I would like to share a story with the theme, Follow Your Destiny, but Still Dream Big. I grew up believing in destiny, but I really never felt the magic of destiny up until the day I received a letter from the Associate Dean, Dr. Williams, saying, "Congratulations, you have been accepted into the molecular medicine PhD track." I say magic because the acceptance letter literally changed my way of believing in destiny. But to better understand the story, let's first go back in time to explain my passion for medical research. I grew up in Palestine, a country known for its long-lasting conflict. In Palestine, most of us there face 2 struggles. One is occupation, 2 is parents. I say that because here is something you might need to know about parents, and if there are Arabic parents in the audience, you probably guess what I'm about to say. They tell their kids, "Listen kids, you have 3 choices or options to make for a future career. First option is a doctor. The second option is an engineer. Third option, you have no choice but a doctor or an engineer." I guess that trick really worked for my parents, as I also had a great interest in medicine. But keeping jokes aside, 2 of my grandparents died from lung and stomach cancer. And because of that passion, my passion for medical research increased significantly. In addition, my parents put aside their dream so I can pursue mine of becoming a doctor. So at the age of 16, my journey starts. And I still remember the first time I flew to the United Kingdom for my high school degree. That memory will never be forgotten. As I start crying when the plane was in Jordan and only stopped when we landed in London. The lady next to me was looking angry and frustrated, probably of my loud crying sound. I could tell exactly what she was thinking in her mind. "What? Are you a child? Be a man." Anyway, time passed and I finished my high school and was lucky to get a full scholarship to study biochemistry and pre-medicine at Earlham College right here in the next state, Indiana. Now this is where we come back to destiny. During my last year at Earlham, I met with my advisor as I was preparing for graduate school applications. My mentor said, "Iyad, dream big and apply to top school." I did dream big, and I applied to Harvard, Yale, Duke, Johns Hopkins, NYU, and Tufts. But guess what? 85% rejections within a week. At that time, I remembered an old saying from home. 1 hit on the head hurts. 2 hits kills. So you can imagine 4 or 5 in that week. So I decided to never dream big. My professor then said, "Iyad, it's all about timing. Don't give up. Follow your destiny." I took a year off to increase my research experience and reapply again for graduate schools. Now this is where the magic begins. In December 2013, I used to be a big fan of the medical show Grey's Anatomy. And in that particular episode, doctors were waiting for their match, probably just like you guys a month or 2 ago. And one of the doctors was asked, "What about you, Curve? Where is your match?" He said, Toledo, North Ohio. I quickly searched in Google, University of Toledo College of Medicine. And the first thing I see is the deadline date for PhD in molecular medicine track. I applied and thought that if I get accepted, it will be a really beautiful story to share in the future. And the rest is history. I got the acceptance letter and could not believe my eyes. The first thing comes to my mind was my professor's words. Follow your destiny. Don't give up. It was the magic that destines me to watch that particular episode in 2013 of Grey's Anatomy. Or God only knows where I would be located right now. 4 years. These past 4 years have had a significant and remarkable meaning in my life. Coming to the University of Toledo was the start of new accomplishments and the continuing of these adventures. Most students like to only remember the good memories and forget about the bad ones. For me, I prefer to remind myself of the tough memories for a better future. During the 4 years, we struggled a lot with studying and working on the research duties. We worked early mornings, late nights. We worked during weekends and federal holidays. So the question is, do we like it? Of course, no. Do we have to do it? Yes. Then why do we choose this path? But before I answer this question, let me share with you a small experience during my studies. In research, we fail, and again fail, until we finally get exciting findings. For example, one of my PhD projects is to study the importance of insulin action on glucose metabolism and body temperature under cold exposure. Part of the study was to fast the mice overnight and then come in the morning to measure their body temperature in a 38-degree cold room for 2 hours. That day, I came to school around 11 p.m., prepared my animal colony for overnight fasting, then went home. Around 5:30 a.m., I woke up with a nightmare that these mice are dying. Keep in mind that I took care of these mice for almost 9 months to perform this study. I got really worried and decided to go check on them. That's 5:30 in the morning. Luckily, the mice were in good condition, and so I was relieved. I then waited until 10 a.m. to start measuring their temperature in the cold room for 2 hours. And if you want to say yes, I stayed in the cold room for 2 hours. The staff were passing by the cold room, and I'm certain they thought I was crazy. When I finished the study, I left the cold room with a very red nose and shivering hands. But guess what? The experiment part of this study somehow did not work. So I had to repeat the same study again and again, starting with feeding the mice, then fasting them overnight, then cold exposure for 2 hours. Finally, beautiful results and findings came out of the study. At that moment, I was really happy and forgot all the struggle and pain from my nightmare and from repeated exposure to the cold room. So back to the question, why do we choose this path? Simply, it's the excitement after all that failure makes us choose this path. I must also mention the good memories. These 4 years gifted me friends, and I'm proud to call some of them family. I also had some spare time in the evenings to join our medical students and enjoy playing soccer at Manning Field. Scientifically, this school gave me a great opportunity to succeed and present my work locally and internationally. Lastly, I would like to thank my mentor, Dr. Jennifer Hill, my wife and my family for their support during these years. I would like also to thank my dad. He's not here, he's in Palestine, so I'm sure he wants to hear this in Arabic. Inshallah ya Baba Sidi رفعت راسكو ولا روحك يا سيدي محمد ضامن وستي إمهايل بهديكم النجاح. I also want to thank a hero here in the audience. She came all the way from Palestine, my mom, and without her, I wouldn't be here today. It is all because of her. I love you, Mom. With that, I would like to end my speech with this. You remember that 16-year-old boy crying on his first ever trip? He's now standing here giving the speech as his commencement. So my message to you, yes, there will be struggle and difficulties in your next path, but never forget to follow your destiny and dream big. Thank you.